I'm a little concerned about the New Japan 50th Anniversary Tour cards. Let me explain as to why. As I speak, I'm looking at the New Year's Golden Series show cards, the announcements. For example, here's what we've got to date. For the February 11th event in Sendai, the main event is Master Wato challenging El Desperado for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Can I be blunt when I say this is a stomp? Despy is going to kick the Grandmaster's ass. I mean, this is Kawato's first attempt at the singles gold of the IWGP Junior title. But personally, I don't think he's going to win this. The Rogue Luchador has really come into his own over the last 2 years, both as a tag wrestler, which he had been doing since 2018, and now as a singles wrestler. I mean, there's a reason Despy has more than cut his teeth to beat. I mean, over the last 11 or 12 years since he debuted in 2010 under his original name, Kyosuke Mikami. But honestly, he's got no shot against Desperado, even if he does trap him in his new Vendaval submission maneuver. I don't see Despy dropping the title. And of course, we've got, oh God, Show against Yo again. Normally, I would be fine with this, but remember, Show is part of the House of Torture. And you know what that means? Fucking shenanigans. At this point, why not just end this feud and let them move on to different things? Let Show, and I mean both in the singles and in the six-man ranks, end this damn feud. Give the House of Torture someone else to pick on other than Chaos. Have them go after, say, Suzuki Gun. Have them go after Los Ingobernables de Japón. Have them face a team from a combination from the Hontai. Have them go after the United Empire for all I give a rat's ass. This sort of vendetta has got to stop, in my opinion. Show, since joining the House of Torture, has regressed as a wrestler, or pulling the same BS heel tactics if one were to ask me. But they're not asking me. I mean, why does Sugabayashi even pander to these House of Torture twits? If the fans were able to speak, they would be booing expressing their disgust at Show's tactics. And then he would realize what he had done, splitting Roppongi 3K up and having Show be the heel, not the baby face, has done New Japan far more harm than good. We also have Tiger Mask against Ishimori to set up an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Title match between Flying Tigers and Bullet Club's cutest tag team. The thing is, now Bullet Club's cutest tag team no longer has their secret weapon, i.e. Phantasmo's metal-loaded boot. Boot that's loaded with a metal plate, as was exposed at Wrestle Kingdom Night 2. But that's not on this particular card. This should be an interesting matchup, but if I remember correctly, Tiger Mask has lost quite a few times one-on-one lately to Ishimori. And that's on February 11th. In Osaka, to close out it, on February the 13th, the main event is a tag match. I mean, the double main events are a tag match between Okada and Tanahashi, who hold the World Heavyweight and U.S. titles respectively, against Naito and Sonata. This is to set up their title matches that are going to happen in Sapporo to close out the tour. These are good matches, probably going to be great ones, in my opinion. But unless New Japan rips the masks off, and I already stated why I do not like the commentary teams, the fans, or or the refs wearing these damn things. To give you people visual aid once again, I will fetch the mask that I have hanging up on my coat rack. Keep in mind, I don't wear these that frequently or for that long. I'm only wearing this for visual aid. Now, can you logistically hear me with this damn thing on my face? Yes, but it's muffled, right? Does this help in stopping a virus? No, it doesn't. I mean, the narrative in the media is falling apart, but I'm getting off track. If I have to watch this in either commentary, I do not want to hear or see any of the commentators on either side of the audio track wearing one of these bullshit mufflers. And then, of course, we've got the never title rematch of Evil against Ishii. More House of Torture BS. Like show, Evil has regressed since joining the Bullet Club. Now, I get why he joined the Bullet Club. It was basically because of the fact that when New Japan was allowed to start back up in mid 2020, there were still lockdowns in most of the other nations. Travel lockdowns in the other nations. And Bullet Club was stretched thin. I get that. But that did not justify putting Evil in this group and have him regress to the overly generic mustache twirling heel. I hate this. Gato even realized it was a mistake to put the belts on him. I mean, the double world heavyweight titles on him, and took him back off. But that being said, arguably with or without the titles, Evil has become even worse, especially forming this subgroup, the House of Torture. And now I got to address the elephant in the room when it comes to the Bullet Club on the whole. Why have the OGs not bothered to fight back against this? Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, Fale, Switchblade, I am asking you as a fan, why have you not fixed this? Why, Jay, have you chosen to abdicate your duty as leader of Bullet Club by staying here in the US for far too long instead of going back to Japan to snuff out the cancer that is crippling Bullet Club's cred in the House of Torture? I mean, even El Phantasmo, for as much of a skunk as that little bastard is, he is right. You have abdicated your post. You have abandoned it, forsaken your position as leader of Bullet Club for your bullshit US of J tour. And before you ask, Jay, yeah, I am going to send this to you in a private message on Twitter to address that you need to go back to Japan and correct your mistake. I want that Bullet Club Civil War, and I want it now. The fans want it now. They want you to come back to Japan, kick Evil's ass, and throw the House of Torture out of the Bullet Club. ASA fucking P. And anyone who doesn't and those Bullet and those evil apologists on Twitter and other social media platforms, I gotta say this. You people are deluding yourselves so you can go fuck yourselves. I am unapologetic in my disgust and hatred of what Evil and Show have become. Yujiro and Togo, you figure that much. Both of them are parasites willing to cling on to whoever's the most powerful individual in the company or in a faction. Yujiro did in Chaos with Okada. He did it 4 times now in Bullet Club with AJ, Yujiro, Jay, and now Evil. Yujiro's a fucking parasite. Of course, we also have Eagles against Ishimori and Tiger Mask against Phantasmo. Like I said, that's to set for their junior tag title match. Kicking off the tour on the 20th. So essentially, next Thursday, it's Nagata, Tanahashi, and Okada against Naito, Sonata, and Takagi in a 6-man, and an 8-man tag, Chaos against House of Torture, and a 6-man between, and an 8-man of, and a 6-man between Tenzan, Taguchi, and Wano against the Suzuki Gun Juniors, as well as a 6-man between Yano, Kojima, and Honma against the Suzuki Gun trio of Taiti, Suzuki, and Taka. For Yano, he wants his baby back, the KOPW Provisional Trophy. For Suzuki, he just wants to kill Yano, after what happened in Yokohama. Also, we've got Tiger Mask against Makabe against Ishimori and Jado. Young Lions against LIJ Juniors. And Nakashima against Okan. The latter two are stomps. But I have a bad feeling about this. Why? Oh, never mind. It's a 7-match card. I thought it was going to be 6. I keep forgetting the house show events are 7 matches. Major shows are 9 or 8 these days with wrestling cards these days. Although, ironically, for some reason, Noah's New Year's show was a 10-match card. But whatever. And that's if you include the pre-show match. It was 10 matches. But let's address the elephants in the room, namely the massive title matches, which is on the 19th and 20th. On the 20th, the World, Never 6, and KOPWs are at stake. We've got Okada Naito and Okaido. That should be fun. They have great chemistry, and they are an incredible duo to watch in the ring. House of Torture against Chaos. Again, not going to be interested in it. And Suzuki defending against Yano. No, brother. And that's on the final night on the 20th. So that's in about 40 days from now. That's in about 40 days. What stipulations are Suzuki and Yano going to have in their match? In my opinion, for Yano, it's a handcuff match. You win by cuffing your opponents to the rope. Or to a guardrail. Suzuki, he's going to want something like catch rules match. Or UWF by rules match, i.e. knockout submission or submissions. Get a win. And this is something where he would thrive in with that trophy at stake. As for night 1 in Sapporo, main evented by Tanahashi defending his U.S. crown against Sonata. And personally, I wouldn't mind Sonata taking the title off the Ace in this situation. But unfortunately, with the way Sonata's been booked, he's going to come up short yet again, as much as I hate to admit that. Yoshi and Goto goaded into putting the heavyweight tag titles on the line. I hate this match because I have a gut feeling Goto and Yoshi are going to lose the heavyweight tag titles. You elevate Yoshihashi as a tag wrestler this much over a year in the six man. Now you've given him his taste of legit IWGP Gold with the heavyweight tag titles, and you're just going to take it away from him just as easily. That is disgusting, Sugabayashi. You need to stop catering to evil and the House of Torture, you self-centered son of a bitch. As far as I'm concerned, the titles should stay on Goto and Hashi, but I have a feeling they will not. But I have a gut feeling they're not going to. I mean, giving evil these tainted victories, the House of Torture, this much momentum is turning people away from New Japan, not toward it. Suga, you fucking Sugabayashi, you fucking dumbass. The last match on this setup is Flying Tigers against Bullet Club's cutest tag team. Now that the loaded boot is out of play and refs are going to check if Phantasmo's boot is indeed loaded with that hunk of metal, this is an even matchup. Unless you want to count Phantasmo going low all the time with the belt with the dick shots, which is his other tactic for getting W's. I mean, Eagles and Phantasmo have a lot of hatred towards each other and revolves around Ishimori. Let me explain. 2018, when Ishimori joined the Bullet Club, he needed a partner for the Super Juniors Tag League. Through the connections of Bad Luck Fale, they recruited Robbie Eagles to be his tag partner for the tournament that year. And while they didn't win the tournament, they impressed the pundits, including a scalp win they got over for Ishimori, again, win over then IWGP Junior champ Kushida, which led to him winning the junior title at Wrestle Kingdom 13. But throughout the New Japan Cup going into Dentaku, vignettes of neon lighted guy in a jacket joining the Bullet Club started playing. And right out of the gate, I could tell that was El Phantasmo. That this was El Phantasmo. Based on what I saw of him from his tenure in Defiant Wrestling in the UK. They weren't hiding it. ELP was coming to Bullet Club, and he made an impressive debut at Dentaku. But we saw his true character in the Best of the Super Juniors, where he would go low to win all of his matches, including a win for Robbie Eagles. It was during a match on day 10 of the tournament that year where I called Eagles the anti-Phantasmo, because unlike Phantasmo, who was always playing dirty to get his wins, Eagles wanted to win clean as a sheet on his own, but wanted to stay in the Bullet Club. His opponent that night was Will Ospreay. And Eagles needed a win to cause a four-way deadlock at the top of the B block. Because of Phantasmo's interference, he got it, but he did not want to win the match that way, and he criticized Phantasmo for it. Then during Dominion in a six-man tag, Phantasmo got a pinfall victory over Roppongi 3K, which secured both him and Ishimori an IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Title shot, which they later cashed in successfully at a house show in Corkin Hall around Father's Day weekend. This left Eagles high and dry. Eagles had an IWGP Junior Heavyweight title match against Ospreay in Australia, but Phantasmo tried to get involved, something Robbie didn't want. Robbie ended up losing the match, and Phantasmo grilled him on it. This led to a six-man tag the next night, Phantasmo, Robbie, and Jay White against Okada, Tanahashi, and Ospreay, won by the Chaos Hontai combo, and by that point, Robbie had enough of Phantasmo sticking his nose in his business and trying to get Eagles to play dirty. At that point, Eagles hop ship from Bullet Club to Chaos, where he has been ever since. Now, while Ishimori has seen a lot of success with ELP, three runs as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion, and on his own, 2 runs as IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, Eagles has always been a thorn in ELP's side, a thorn he wants to pull out. I mean, for Ishimori, the 2 junior runs, for those wondering, not Phantasmo. He wants Eagles out of the equation, and he wants him out badly. The philosophy, I think, as to why Phantasmo wormed his way into being Ishimori's tag partner in 2019 was the mentality that if I can't have Ishimori as my partner, then Eagles shouldn't either. At least that's how I'm looking at it. Needless to say, Phantasmo got his wish regardless. Now, this matchup happens on the 19th for those wondering. And honestly, I don't know who would win this match. With or without that metal plate in his boot, Phantasmo is still a sneaky piece of shit. Anyway, my thoughts are that on paper, the anniversary tour looks like it's got some pretty stacked cards. But will they be aces or will they end up being jokers? Or will they be those cards you don't want in a game of card sharks, namely 5 to 10s, which are pretty bad. If you get a 5 or a 10, those are 5 through 10 card. If you ever watch the game show Card Sharks, you would want to swap that card out and hope to get some good. Like an ace through a 4 or a jack through a queen. That being said, how this pans out, I don't know. And it sounds like my job / life coach / social worker is here. So for now, leave a comment, smash the like, sub to the channel. Mets 2128 signing out. Goodbye. Good night. Bang.